You caught the bug, you want to be financially free, and here's your question. How do I really build a residual income? Well, today on Limitless TV, I'm going to talk about what residual income is and the fastest way that you can create that liberation and freedom for yourself, because bottom line is, man, you and I, we got this one life. Don't waste it on a career that you're not passionate about or doing things that don't make sense to you. Who would you be if you didn't need money? We're going to find that out so that you can get on to living that life. If you want to build a residual income, then you need to understand what it is and why it's powerful. Right now, I could either give you $1 million or $10,000 a month, every month, for the rest of your life. Which would you rather have? Million sounds like a lot of money, but you know what I think most people would rather do? Is they'd rather have the residual income. It's not about how much money you have overall or what you're worth. It's more, what do you have access to on a regular basis? Building a residual income is all about building an income that is dependable and shows up whether you do or not. And that's what I love about real estate. And there's a lot of other games in business that I play that produce that residual income. So let's get down to business. If you are committed to a residual income, then it means that rather than $50,000 or $100,000 on a house getting you excited, $300 or $400 or $500 a month of residual income does even more. And so the commitment is this: when you buy a house, you gotta buy right, which means you've got an opportunity to step into a lot of equity that's gonna translate into a deeper cash flow. And that cash flow is what is gonna start you off. Now, in the beginning, the cash flow of $300, $400, $500 a month on a house, as cool as it is, the reality is we want to catapult that residual income. And what I mean by that is, in 12 months after that home is seasoned and we can refinance and take some money out of it or sell it, I want to take that home and now use it to buy 2 houses, 2 residual incomes. And I want to take those 2 houses in time and I want to turn them into 4. Now, understand that when I bought my first house, it took me 2 years later to get my second. And then it only took me 6 months later to get my third. And then 3 turned into half a dozen, and half a dozen turned into a dozen, and a dozen turned into 2 dozen, and 2 dozen turned into hundreds. So it started out a little bit slow out the gate, but you build this crazy momentum where by the time we're talking legacy, 10 years, you have the chance for a massive skyrocket in your personal finances. You've got to value the residual more than the really big amount that you get. And then when you sell that first property and you make 30 grand or 50 grand, the question is, what are you going to do with it? You got to put it right back into real estate to double down on deeper cash flow. Put it right back into real estate to double down on deeper cash flow rather than, but Chris, I could pay my car off. And my car means that I'm saving $500 a payment a month, which means, hey, I'm not producing $500 of income, but I eliminated $500. And Dave Ramsey would pat you on the back and say, awesome, but the car is not going to produce more for you. You can't put assets into liabilities, you need to put assets into assets. Let me ask you a secondary question. Be totally debt-free or have $10,000 a month residual income, but with debt. Which would you rather take? You'd probably still take the $10,000 a month, which means that it's a higher priority than a pile of money for retirement, and it's also a higher priority than $1 million, and it's a higher priority than getting out of debt. This is different thinking than what you've likely been told growing up. Stay out of debt, be financially smart, and what I'm saying is being financially smart means having your money work for you, and here's how you know if it's working for you. It pays a residual. Now, society will say put money in a 401k or an IRA or an annuity or in the stock market, but none of these investments pay you. Hence, they're speculative, gambling, aka lottery. They're not real investments. A real investment pays you. So put your money in things that pay you and then never lose sight of the real goal.